All right, so we're going to start. So what is the Alliance? What do we actually do? Where does the money go is the questions that we're going to be answering today. So we're going to start with our mission. So our mission, the Dup15q Alliance provides family support and promotes awareness, research, and targeted treatments for chromosome 15q 11.2 to 13.1 duplication syndrome. Through our work to raise awareness and promote research into chromosome 15q duplications, we seek to find targeted treatments so that affected individuals can live full and productive lives. Together with our families, the Dup15q Alliance is working towards a better tomorrow for children with chromosome 15q 11.2 to 13.1 duplication syndrome, or Dup15q. So, this one. So to support that mission, the organization operates in four main categories, or we call them programs. These programs were designed to help us track donations that come in and our activities and our priorities. So we sat down last year and did some really, really critical thinking about strategic planning. We did 1 to 5 years, essentially. Where are our priorities in these next 5 years for our community that's really going to move that needle? So, and in that process, we went through all of our procedures in terms of bringing in donations and then also accounting for that money and also allocating the money out, and we created these four categories. The first category is education and outreach. This is kind of self-explanatory. It's the things that we create, it's the newsletters, it's getting the words out there, it's making materials that you guys can use in your communities, with your families, with your medical care providers, and that sort of thing. This is also outreach between families. It's regional gatherings, it's when we get together through things like this, it's the conference. It's really just the way that awareness piece that we really do a lot here. The second one is research. This is also self-explanatory. I know that the first day was a little research heavy, I've heard, and we're going to try to make it a little bit more family-friendly next time. But research is really important, and you saw that there's a lot of things happening. We're learning a lot more about Dup15q and about things that we can target for treatments. We're learning about behavioral interventions. We're learning about all these things. And without dedicated research to Dup15q specifically, these things, those advances, and that knowledge is not going to grow. So that's the research program. We have our clinics program. So our clinics program is really interesting. We had Ron and Shefali up here, and they're obviously very dedicated, but we support those clinics. We support these 8 multidisciplinary clinics throughout the country financially too. And what that means is people always ask, well, why would we give them money? You know, we go there and our insurance pays for it, right? When it comes down to it, any clinician that sees Dup15q kids, they tend to spend a lot more time than they would with their other patients. And that's where it kind of comes in. We want them to be dedicated to us. We also want the information that they're collecting clinically to go into our research. So what we do for the clinics is it's a pay-to-play model. Ron sees 128 people, he tells me at the end of the year, and he gets his grants. And what we get in turn is that very, very precious clinical data about how your dupers are doing clinically, that we can go back and say, okay, this is working, this is not working. There's seizures present in 50%, there's not seizures present in this 50%. The differences between interstitial and isoidicentric, that's really where it goes. So we do support our clinics financially, and it does go above and beyond that insurance payment. The last but not least, fundraising. You have to spend money to make money, unfortunately. But what we do is we try to keep those fundraising costs low. And on the next slide, you're going to see exactly how we allocate any dollars that come in terms of percentages. So fundraising is a necessary evil, or actually, in our case, fundraising actually creates a lot of awareness, like I was saying earlier. When it comes down to it, every dollar that can create one more person that knows what Dup15q is, or every dollar that can have one more doctor know that they won't ever have to say, oh, I don't know what you can do with that, or they hand you that piece of paper and say, good luck. That makes a lot of difference. So fundraising, I always want to put it like fundraising and awareness, because they go hand in hand when it comes down to patient advocacy. All right, oops, that's the wrong one. All right, so the money. So we fundraise. And we raise awareness. So what this is showing you, I don't know, this one, okay. So what this is every year we sit down and we do a budget, and the budget goes for 5 years. because we know kind of what we're going to do the one year, but we want to make sure that we're anticipating our needs in the future. We're anticipating growth, we're anticipating our new expenses and that sort of thing. So this is an example. This is our budget for 2019. This is our proposed budget. So this is all estimated because clearly 2019 hasn't ended yet, but this is our proposed budget. So as you can see, we break down, oops, back up. So as you can see, we break down our income by those 4 programs that I just said. So it's by fundraising, clinics, research, and education and outreach. And you can see we get most of our income from fundraising. We get some clinics program income. We get some education and outreach program income, and then we get some general administrative outcome. Those are little grants that I might apply for travel or whatnot. But in general, everything has general administration stuff. It's like paperwork costs. Then we have our estimated expenses. So here you see, we estimated our program income to be $734,000 this year. And we estimated our expenses to be $619,000. And so you can see the pie colors change, right? For fundraising, we expect a lot more income and a lot less expense, right? And then for like education and outreach, little income, but way more expense. The expenses are based upon our priorities, where we've decided to spend the money, where we've decided to invest it back into our community. And we really want to always be in that education and outreach, the clinics program, the research program. We want these numbers to stay low, and we strive to do that. There are numbers that are, for nonprofit management, there are guideline numbers for these 2 things. There are guideline numbers for your administrative costs, and there are guideline numbers for your fundraising costs that we try to stay below. And we by far, we're below them, and we've been below them forever. So, but we are very, very cognizant of all of those things when it comes down to it. We make sure we stay that way. We have finance committee meetings every month to look at this and verify that that's happening. And the strategic plan that I was just talking about, it is available on the website, and all of our financials are available on the website. We do get audited once a year, so they're not available till after the audit's done. But they're all available there, and anybody can contact me at any time, and I will send them everything. Next. Okay, organizational oversight. So we have these wonderful people up here, minus a couple who had to leave early, who are the organizational oversight. They each play a role in the day-to-day operations of this organization. Fernando is international relations. David's our board chair, as well as our governance person, so meaning that we're going through our procedures correctly. We have Steve, who's on our finance committee and our finance head. We have Guy, who helps with the research and science and kind of corralling the clinicians and researchers. We have Mike, who's our fundraising chair. We have Julia, who's our governmental advocacy chair. And then we've got Lauren, who is doing education and outreach and doing the extended support network support. And Tony Marmo, who's our finance chair. And Joel Alazel. That's how you say his last name. I always get it wrong. Alazel. Joe Alazel is also, he's our newest board member who is helping, learning about the clinics program and helping our clinician network succeed that way too and communicate back. So between these guys here and our professional advisory board, these people are dedicated to the Dup15q Alliance. We make sure we vet them. We make sure they're active with us. When we're emailing with our professional advisory, well, these guys got to answer my emails because otherwise they have a problem. But our professional advisory board, it's made up of clinicians and researchers who are invested in Dup15q syndrome. They keep their information on the forefront of it. They're always telling us that there's a new paper coming out, or here's a new better medical recommendation for care of Dup15q syndrome because we're learning this. And they provide all of the structure. So if I have a question or I'm looking for answers, or you've emailed me, I go to them. So if it's something about organization, I go to these guys. But if it's a medical question or if it's a research question, I email them, and within probably usually 20 minutes, somebody's responding with their ideas. We're currently having a very, very intense discussion about a couple different things on the research side, and it's wonderful that these people are dedicated, giving their time for free to this community. And that's the thing. None of these people are compensated. And actually, for the board of directors, last year we did put a stipulation that we do want our board of directors to either donate $5,000 or raise $5,000 in order to maintain their board membership. So they now do have a financial stake in the organization, and it does make up a part of our budget now. So now when we're doing our budget line, there's a budget line, it's all board contributions. It's them multiplied by 5,000. So on top of this being a volunteer position, they are also donating back and having a financial stake in this organization. They want to see it thrive. They want to see their money being invested in proper areas. All right, and we have support committees. So somebody asked once, like, well, what do you actually, like, it's just a Facebook page, right? Like, that's all it is. That's what, the Alliance is just a Facebook page. That's all it is. It's not. I mean, you guys are here, so you know it's not. But at the end of the day, we have all of these other things that we do to support our families and to engage the community. A lot of these things might be a little bit more touchy-feely, like birthday cards and that sort of thing, but a lot of them are pretty functional, like the Transitional Living Committee. The Dup15q community is getting older, and they need support with that as they age. And so we found a need, we're gathering resources, and it's going to be made available to our families. So these are all functional things for different aspects of the community. So it's not just a Facebook page. The Facebook page is such a small amount of what we do. So we just want to make sure that everybody knows that it's really that. We do so much more work outside of that than the social media support. We do that too, obviously, but as you're saying hi to Facebook Live. But on top of it, we have these other things that really do impact the lives while we're waiting for those better treatments, while we're waiting for that next therapy. And here's my plug. Join a committee. Join the board of directors. If you have questions, we can answer them. If you want to get involved, if you want to have input into the organizational structure and what we're doing and our priorities, join the board of directors. They're a fun group of people. On top of it, they really do care. They want this organization to grow and make more change and make your lives better in any way, shape, or form. So if you're interested, or if somebody you know is interested, or it's a grandpa, or it's a friend who has experience in nonprofit management, ask. The worst thing they can say is no. But we would love some more input. We want to get some fresh blood, some fresh faces. We want to have that good new energy that's coming to it. So super easy, but if you have any questions about what that means, email David. Go to our website, download the application. It's super easy. And what happens is there's an interview process and everything's that happens with the board, but it's super easy. But we're looking for new board members, so please, please, please get the word out there for that. And anybody on Facebook Live, if you're watching this later because it shows up on your feed, if you have a question, post it and we'll respond. So thank you so much. Thank you guys.